My friends built me another prison and challenged me to break out of it, but the problem was this one seemed impossible. This prison was inspired by our channel mascot the turtle and got the name Turtle Egg, but breaking out of this prison was not going to be easy. You can't tell from the outside, but on the inside you notice that it's completely layered with bedrock, making it impossible to break out of. There was only one way in or out of the prison, but am I going to be good enough to find it, or am I going to end up stuck in the prison forever? I don't know, but we're going to find out because the escape starts now. I started off by looking around the room I was in, and I quickly realized escaping this prison was not going to be easy. I was in some sort of bedrock trap, but this wasn't just any trap. This one was very familiar. I used this exact same trap in the thumbnail of my last YouTube video because of how inescapable it looked, but now I actually had to escape it. It was only the first room and I was very confused. With no items in my inventory, I really didn't see any way for me to get out of this bedrock trap, so I started looking around the room for like a lever or a button, but I couldn't find anything. It almost got to the point where I was convinced my friends were just messing with me and there was no way out of this, but then I had a very good idea. I used F5. See, using F5 gave me a whole new perspective and I was able to see a chest I couldn't have seen before. The reason I didn't see the chest before is because you have to walk to this exact spot and shift just to see a sliver of it. But now that I did, I could access the chest and I now had an oak log, an oak plank, and a jungle log. The question now became, what could I build with these items that would get me out of this bedrock trap? And I actually knew exactly what to do. I needed to make a boat. So I turned the logs into planks, but this is where I almost made a massive mistake. I almost built the crafting table with my oak planks, but right before I did, I realized I shouldn't do this. You need 5 of the same type of wood to build a boat. So if I had done that, I would have been stuck in this bedrock trap for the rest of the run. Luckily, I realized and used the jungle planks to make a crafting table, and then I built myself an oak boat and successfully escaped the first trap. After I escaped, I picked up my boat and I also collected the chest and the crafting table in case I needed them later on. Then I looked around the first room to make sure there was nothing else I was missing. Once I was sure I was good, I moved on to the next room. The next room was just a big pit of lava with a ledge at the other side, and I was a little confused at first, but I quickly came up with one way to get across. I was pretty sure I could use the crafting table and the chest to parkour along the right side to the ledge,